Should MLS switch to Netflix, the biggest and most popular streaming service in the entire world? Hello, everyone. Welcome back to MLS Moves. Please make sure you like this video down below, subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, and hit that little bell notification so you never miss any of my videos. Now, this is a very interesting topic because we all know that the Apple TV deal has not been as good as MLS would have liked it to be, as good as the fans would have liked it to be, not necessarily from a production standpoint, but from a marketing, promotion, taking this league to another level standpoint. There have been a lot of shortcomings with this Apple TV deal. So we're going to talk about why I think Netflix would be a better partner, the shortcomings, and I want to see what you guys think about Apple TV versus Netflix for Major League Soccer. Now, to start off with the Apple TV deal, Major League Soccer originally had a deal with FS1, Univision, and ESPN from 2015 to 2022 that paid them roughly around $65 million a year. In 2022, at the end of the year, they had announced a deal with Apple for 10 years, $2.5 billion, $250 million annually to have the rights exclusively on Apple TV. Now, they did sign a linear deal with Fox Sports 1 to where in Fox that 30 to 34 matches a season would be broadcasted on Fox, whether it be FS1 or Fox, but they were going to take all the games and put them behind a paywall on Apple. And most of the good games and all the games, honestly, were going to be on Apple, which it was the first of its kind to do this. No other sports league had done this yet, especially in America. So MLS was thinking they were being innovative ahead of the curve, trying to do what everybody was inevitably going to do. And it has had a lot of shortcomings. We haven't had the explosion we thought we would have with this deal, the investments we thought we'd have with this deal. And I think that it is hurting the league. And that's why they should have a partner like Netflix. Now, the most recent numbers we've seen for Apple TV is that it was like 2022. The most recent numbers they released, they only had 25 million subscribers. Now, I'm under the impression and the belief that if they had better numbers than that, they would release them if there had been more subscriptions, but they haven't released any new subscriptions. They haven't even released how many subscriptions Apple TV has or MLS Season Pass has gotten since they've been with Apple, because I fear that the numbers are not good and they don't want to share them. So this has been not good for Apple TV and MLS, more specifically MLS. Apple really doesn't have anything to lose. They've got so much money that this is just throwaway change for them. But MLS, in a crucial point in their league's existence, having to get this right, needing to maximize viewership, needing to maximize marketing, this has been subpar and honestly a little bit embarrassing at this point. Because 2026 is right around the corner, and they need to get as many eyeballs on this league as they possibly can. And even when the games are free on Apple, people are not inclined to go to Apple to watch the games. Now, this has had me thinking, especially with some recent NFL games being on Netflix, that this has had me thinking since Netflix has started to dip their toe in the sports landscape, having some games on Christmas Day, the Chiefs and the Steelers, and then the Ravens and Texans. What if MLS was on Netflix? Now, just for comparison's sake, we'll start off with this. I mentioned earlier that Apple TV has 25 million paid subscribers. Netflix has 84 million paid subscribers in the United States and Canada. Now, we all know that Netflix is the most popular streaming service that there is, with the jokes, Netflix and chill, whatever it may be. But when you think of streaming, you think of Netflix. Everybody, how many people are just surfing on Netflix, searching for something to watch? I don't think many people do that with Apple TV, but they do it for Netflix because of all the content. And they dip their toe into the sports landscape, and they got 25 million viewers for both games on Netflix, which is really good. Now, the NFL is a juggernaut, obviously, but that's really, really good. And it beat the NBA, which Christmas Day is known to be an NBA day. They beat those numbers. I think they had 5 million viewers for the Mavericks game, which is terrible. That's one of the lower rated Christmas Day games, and that was on linear television. So the streaming service was able to absolutely demolish the NBA on Christmas Day. So that shows what the power that Netflix has. And the production quality was incredible. It was absolutely beautiful. And having Netflix with MLS. Now imagine this. Imagine Lionel Messi came to MLS last year and MLS was on Netflix where they were able to put Messi everywhere on Netflix. How much more that would pop. Yes, Apple is a big brand. We all, or a majority of us probably have iPhones or some sort of Apple product. But when you think of Apple, you don't think of streaming services, you think of hardware. When you think of Netflix, we obviously what you think of is streaming services. So it's just a different animal, and it would have been a better pairing and would have elevated, I think, the league even more. And like I said, 84 million subscribers in the United States and Canada for Netflix, 282 million subscribers worldwide for Netflix. That's how many subscribers they have worldwide, 282 million. And Apple, the most recent number we have is 25 million. So think about that. Over 10 times more subscribers on Netflix than Apple TV. And that would help the league. It would help the league immensely having MLS on Netflix, and it would show it to a completely new audience. Most people have Netflix in the United States, even if they're account sharing, they have it. And the production would be incredible because we know Netflix does a very good job in all their shows, all their movies, even if they're not good content as far as you liking the movie or the plot, whatever it may be. The production is incredible and all the stuff that they have created. And I think that they would have been able to do some cool stuff with MLS teams, promoting them and helping them out. And MLS is currently paying for their own production costs. Apple's not even doing that. Apple is not producing the games on Apple TV, if you guys didn't know that. MLS is having to pay a third party to produce these games for them on Apple. So they're not even doing that. So Apple doesn't even get credit for producing the games and helping elevate that. They are just a streaming service, letting MLS use their platform to promote their matches. They're not promoting them. They're not promoting MLS. They're not producing the games, and that is hurting them. That's hurting them significantly. It's not good for MLS. Now, also, too, some people say, but Netflix didn't want MLS. They didn't want to pay for them. They didn't want to get into the ring. This is, what does this matter if they had no interest? Well, I think MLS signed the deal with Apple TV, but not because the money, which did have a factor, but I think it was because of the security. Don Garber and co. were panicking because they didn't want to get a short-term deal, 2 or 3, 4 years. They wanted a long-term deal. So I don't think they took the deal necessarily with the biggest money. I think they took the deal that was the longest, 10 years. I mean, 10 years is the longest MLS media deal that they've ever had. So I think he did it from more of a stability standpoint, but it's going to end up hurting them because of inflation. The deal is aging. It's 2 years in. It's already aging poorly. $250 million is terrible for 30 teams. If you look at other deals, other media deals in the United States, it's aging very, very poorly. And I think that Netflix would totally have been on for MLS, especially if they knew that they had Messi. Who wouldn't be in on that? Now, look, Messi, I know he's only going to be here for maximum until 2027, but it's 3 more years, 3 more full seasons. People want a piece of that. And on top of that, that would give them good exposure for the league wide, and they would pay the league a handsome compensation to be able to broadcast these games. And also, I don't know if Netflix was completely committed to getting into the sports landscape in 2022 when Apple and MLS struck a deal. I think that they were flirting with the idea. Obviously, we know Amazon has NFL games. Netflix seemed like that they were heading in that direction, but they didn't officially do it until this year. Maybe they had one game last year, but they're finally getting more and more into the sports landscape. And I think that MLS really needed a strong partner. Now, even if the money is lower, Netflix would give them a new audience. And right now, money is important to MLS, but exposure is more important. They need to be bringing in more fans. Now, there's been estimates that there's 1 million subscribers for MLS Season Pass. There's been rumors that there's 2 million. But either way, they needed to be on a place where, or a platform where every subscriber had access to their games. So MLS on Netflix would have MLS games available to 282 million subscribers worldwide. They could watch MLS instead of 2 million. That's a game changer. That's a game changer for this league. That would help them so much to give people a taste of MLS. Now, some people will say, well, MLS isn't good enough. People are going to want to watch it. Look, MLS is a fun league to watch. It's entertaining. It's competitive. I love MLS, obviously, because it's what my channel covers, right? But this would help them as a brand. I think the Netflix deal would change Major League Soccer. It would be a partner that would promote them. How many times did we see promotions for the NFL for Netflix for the Christmas games? Several times. How many times have you seen an Apple commercial with Messi? How many times have you seen that? I can't think of how many times I've seen that. Also, I don't know if I've ever seen one that wasn't on Apple. How many have you seen on linear television or on social media? I barely see any advertisements for MLS and Apple. I've seen it more advertisements for the NFL on Netflix in the last 2 weeks than I've seen for the last 2 years for Apple and MLS. That is a huge problem. They need a better partner. If you want my prediction, I don't think MLS and Apple are going to make it the full 10 years. Apple needs to be planning what they're going to do next. I got a text message a couple days ago saying that MLS is starting to pivot and that they do not, the person told me they do not think that Apple and MLS will make it the full 10 years. So they need to be planning ahead and seeing what's going to happen. MLS needs to be on something like Netflix, not ESPN Plus, not Apple TV, something like Netflix. I think it would help it out a lot. I want to know what you guys think. What streaming service would you want to see Apple, or excuse me, I want to know what you guys think. What streaming service would you like to see MLS on? Do you think Netflix would change MLS, or do you think it'd be more of the same, especially if all 282 million subscribers get access to MLS? I want to know what you guys think. Let me know down below. Like this video if you enjoyed it. Subscribe to the channel if you haven't already, and hit that little bell notification so you never miss a video. Until next time, guys, I will see you all soon.